There are, I hate to use the word opposing, but somewhat conflicting principles. One is the general community of Chestertown, which has and I'm going to call it a Norman Rockwell image of healthcare, where, a general practitioner should be able to take care of everything. And, Doc Jones has been here for 50 years, and why we taken Doc Jones away, and Doc Jones went to Chestertown Hospital. And that was fine in the 1950s, but with the explosion of technology, the explosion of medical specialties and subspecialties and super specialties, the people still want the best care, but they have to realize that Doc Jones really can't provide that care. And I think telemedicine is a great way to do that. We have to kind of assuage any kind of negative feelings in the community that healthcare is being pulled out. But the community also has to come to grips with the idea that care delivery is going to be different. One example that we use is we use ultrasound as our stethoscope. Now, what's a stethoscope? It's a cheap ultrasound machine, and I can look at somebody's ultrasound over the camera. In fact, we're doing that. We do that in the ICU. So, our program here monitors 100 patients around the state of Maryland in 11 different hospitals, mostly rural. And in the middle of the night, there's nobody there but the nurse at the bedside. So we are having the nurses acquire images with the ultrasound machine, and we interpret them over the camera and are making decisions right there rather than calling people in, or worse, delaying the evaluation of the patient so they get sicker over 12 hours or whatever it takes to affect change. So it's really, monitoring is a little bit different than we're providing care. So we do monitor the patients continuously, but the ratio, or the accepted ratio, that most people in the tele-ICU business, and I've been in it a long time, we don't like to get above 100, 120, because patients get sick in the middle of the night, and you can be very active in 3 hospitals all at the same time, and that can be pretty stressful. But again, using the technology, we have literally run cardiac arrests in 2 different hospitals at the same time that we're 200 miles away. And we can do that sort of stuff. ICU. This is about as intense and sophisticated as you can get. Most of the other telemedicine programs are just one computer screen and one camera. This is as high-end as you get. This is probably the most sophisticated system in the country. We are interfaced or connected to all 11 hospitals. So in the upper left-hand corner, or 2 screens, these are patients in 5 different hospitals, and their EKG rhythms are going by. And this is what we call real time. In other words, as the patient or the nurse and doctor at the bedside is seeing it, we're seeing it. So if a nurse thinks, gee, I'm not sure what this rhythm is, they can call us up and we can look at it, like I said, real time. Obviously, we don't have 100 patients all stuck up here at once, but we can, with 2 or 3 clicks, get to every patient in all 11 hospitals. I don't want to say it's better, because if I had a whole stable of doctors and sent them to each 11 hospitals to sit there all night long, yeah, they might do a little better or as well as we're doing. But when I tell you that our Apache scores are as good as anybody, they're being compared with people who don't necessarily, who do have doctors at the bedside. So actually what I think is going to happen, I think there's about to be a huge explosion of diagnostics that are going to be way different than what we're doing now. So to give a little perspective to that, for the last 50, 60 years, monitoring has been what we call physiologic monitoring. So it's, again, the same Marcus Welby, your heart rate, your respiratory rate, your breathing rate, your blood pressure. And I'm not sure that's going to have any validity in the near future with the whole gene arrays, rare gases, biochemistry, sensing devices that will tell us at a cellular level much faster when the patient's going awry. If I wait till somebody's blood pressure goes down, their cells may have been dying for 2 hours, and there's no way to know that. So I think the whole diagnostic array is going to explode and change. And I think doctors are going to have to be, I don't want to use the word smarter, they're going to have to be much more scientific. And I think patients are slowly going to get away from the Norman Rockwell, Marcus Welby holding your hand. Why did they hold hands? Because there's nothing else they can do. I think we're going to have to support patients and families with a team. So a physician maybe makes the intellectual decisions and also counsels the family, and then they set a plan of care. And as long as you're not falling off that plan of care, you're not going to see the doctor. You're going to see a nurse practitioner or a physician's assistant and just be followed along. So if you have high blood pressure, there's no real reason for you to see a doctor. The only reason you see that, as long as your blood pressure is well controlled and you're not having side effects, you're good to go.